Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Hello there, welcome to Morning Dew for this morning. My name is Henry Uzo, and of course, as usual, we'll take you around the news making the headlines in the papers, and of course, other conversations will come as the program carries on. My name is Henry Uzo. Success is here in the studio with me.
Welcome this morning to Morning Dew, where we bring you topical stories and headlines happening around the globe. I am Success Benjamin, and Ify is here on the studio.
Absolutely grateful to God for another opportunity to do this again, and promising you a smooth ride. Trust us, even when it gets stressful. This is where to just let down your guard, have a great time in the morning so you can spring at your work and do it better. My name is Ify Arono, and this is Morning Dew on Dott TV.
Okay, people don't watch football. Yesterday,
Partly,
to
anyway.
the surprise of everybody, Argentina did it again.
Yes.
Flushed out England. That's the word I use because England tried everything they could. They tried to use their youthfulness and all that, but Argentina with a bundle of experience. England scored first, but that didn't do it for them. They were fatigued because I think 2 or 3 of their last games ended in extra time. So that energy was there. It's just going away like that.
Actually watched for a bit, not to the end of the game.
Okay.
But I had
Did you watch
every
in
faith.
England squad?
I have not really. I had every faith in Argentina that Argentina is going to make it. So
because of Messi.
And Messi was merciless.
He did well. The 2 goals, he was one who gave the assist, which is very important. Yeah.
All right. Excitement. Yesterday we had a party.
Yes. One of us celebrated our birthday.
Yes,
and
a
it
woman,
was
Zino Irero, was saying congratulations, happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
all the dreams come true. They said the thing she prayed for will come to pass, and the thing she did not pray for that she deserves. That was your prayer.
Yes. You forgot it.
Are you reminding me?
Yes, that was
Is that
prayer.
right? So that's how we say happy birthday again to Ewo Mazino Iroro, one of us here. And of course, when we come back, we get down to business. Stay with us. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back. And of course, we're going straight to news updates. Success has the stories.
Welcome to News Update. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, has assured Nigerians that the proposed constitutional amendments to establish the state's police include safeguards to prevent governors from using the system for political purposes. Speaking on Wednesday at the National Security Roundtable during the 2026 National Assembly Open Week in Abuja, Abbas said the House would thoroughly scrutinize the bill to ensure it strengthens community policing while preserving national oversight, democracy, and the rule of law. He describes the proposal as one of the most significant constitutional reforms currently before the National Assembly. Abbas also commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, noting that the first time in Nigeria's history a sitting president has formally submitted an executive bill making state police a key part of the country's national reform agenda. A content creator has been arrested in Delta State. The Delta State Police Command has arrested a popular content creator Ifeanyi Ogbonna, popularly known as Odogwu of Asaba, over the alleged rape of a 20-year-old woman. Police said the suspect allegedly invited the victim to Asaba under the pretext of promoting her content creation career before luring her to his hotel room, where he reportedly assaulted and raped her. According to police, the victim later recorded a video describing her ordeal before allegedly drinking insecticide. She was rushed to a hospital, but she died while receiving treatment. The development was disclosed on Wednesday by the Delta State Police Public Relations Officer SP Bright Edafe in a statement shared on his X account. Police said the 40-year-old suspect, a resident of Asaba, is in custody while investigations into the case are ongoing. The federal government has concluded the evacuation of Nigerians affected by recent xenophobic attacks in South Africa. The final batch of 308 returnees arrived safely at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos on Wednesday aboard an Air Peace flight, bringing the total number of evacuated Nigerians to more than 1,500. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, said the successful operation reflects President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's commitment to the safety and welfare of Nigerians abroad. She also commended officials of the Nigerian High Commission in South Africa and other government agencies for coordinating the exercise, while encouraging the returnees to make use of available government support as they reintegrate into society. Now on entertainment, Nollywood actor Ike Ogbonna has broken his silence following the death of his close friend and fellow actor Alex Ekubo. In an emotional tribute shared on Instagram, Ogbonna said the loss changing his perspective on life and reminded him that no one is ever truly prepared for the death of a loved one. He urged people to appreciate and love those around them while they still have the opportunity, noting that time should never be taken for granted. Ogbonna had remained silent throughout the early days of mourning, with many fans viewing his decision as a reflection of his deep grief. He also changed his Instagram profile picture to a portrait of Ekubo in honor of his late friend. Now on foreign news, talks of the Strait of Hormuz. Meanwhile, some shipping companies are increasingly avoiding a U.S. military-guided transit route through the Strait of Hormuz following a series of Iran attacks on commercial vessels, raising fresh concerns over maritime safety. For decades, ships traveling to and from the Gulf relied on a UN-approved traffic separation scheme established in 1968. However, since the conflict with Iran began on February 28, parts of the route have reportedly been mined, forcing vessels to use alternative passages closer to Iran or Oman coast. The US-supported transit plan had helped maintain the flow of millions of barrels of oil, limiting the impact of supply disruptions on global energy markets. But recent attacks have prompted many shipping companies to reconsider using the route. Iran's Revolutionary Guards on Tuesday claimed responsibility for attacks on two Emirati oil supertankers, further heightening security concerns. Torbjorn Sovetti, principal Middle East analyst at Verix Maplecrost, said Iran's ability to target ships along the Omani route suggests the US-backed transit plan may not be enough to guarantee safe passage through the Strait waterways. And that's it on News Update on Morning Dew. Plenty more to come when we return. Stay with us.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back. And of course, we go straight to the headlines in the papers. We're starting with Business Day this morning. And on Business Day, we have how Nigeria's 2026 budget buried 210 billion naira in overlapping allocations. Oyedele Cardoso, AFDB chief, to headline Business Day's 14th CEO Forum. And of course, Nigeria's 15.91 inflation cements case for CBN rate hold. That's what we have on Business Day.
And moving on to Daily Trust, we have the front page there. Malami loses 48 properties to FG. Marketers demand revival of refineries amidst Dangote's dollar says. Herbalist asks me to kill families of 7, suspect says. FG launches online birth death registration system. And that's it with Daily Trust.
Let's move now to Nigerian Tribune. And above the masthead, we still have regarding the Orire kidnap and release of school children in Oyo State. Orire, Senate donates 50 million naira to victims' families. Oyo government pledges support. Tinubu to attend the United Nations General Assembly UNGA in September, Jimo Ibrahim announces. Nigeria's inflation eases slightly to 15.91% in June as food prices rises. The major story on Nigerian Tribune is on page 4. Court orders final forfeiture of university, 47 other properties linked to Malami. Police rescue 5-year-old abducted in Ibadan. Arrest 2 suspects. And this is on the environment. I'm sure it will interest us. Lake Chad drying up poses global threat, and that's coming from the federal government. And lastly, health. Smart robotic glove to restore movement and touch after paralysis developed. Researchers are not resting. Let's move on, please.
That's their job.
Yeah, moving now to the Daily Times. OAFG accuses CBN of non-remittance. Apex Bank keeps mum. And now we have narco vehicles crashes into Air Peace craft at Lagos Airport, disrupting light operations. Nigeria's 4.1% growth forecast marks deeper economic challenges. That's IMF speaking there. And that's it with the Daily Times.
Next is The Guardian. And of course, from The Guardian, we have row over INEC's deadline, compliance as parties seek further extension. And of course, Senate rejects PFIPC probe as Atiku slams FG over 6.44 billion WPC Cup budget. Okay, that's World Cup budget. Then, of course, FG evacuates another batch from South Africa, brings account to 1,490 persons evacuated. We still have Senate gives NMPCL auditors 1 week to explain 20 trillion naira on unreconciled figures. That's from the Guardian. That's all we can take there.
Now, bringing us to the nation, the PSC opens portal for 50,000 new policemen. UN warns of terror threats in West Africa, Sahel. And the major headline here says, court orders final forfeiture of 48 assets linked to Malami. And also down here we have Abbas Bamidele bill will provide safeguards, direct funding of state police. And that's all with the nation.
Let's move now to the Punch and discover the punches this morning. Beside the masthead, State Police UK backs reforms as National Assembly lists safeguards. Above the masthead, poverty threatens 79% of Nigerians despite reforms, and that's a report by the World Bank. PSC unveils 50,000 police recruits. The topical story on the Punch this morning is on the fake agency scandal, Atiku presidency clash as Senate rejects fresh probe. These are the riders. Fake agency controversy deepens as fresh calls for probe rise. An ex-VP challenges 1.3 billion naira agency fund, calls for independent probe. Curry's World Cup 6.4 billion naira budget. And presidency fires back at Atiku, backs ICPC probe of scandal. This is on the xenophobic attack in South Africa. Federal government complete evacuation brings 1,490 Nigerians home. These are the topical ones. And of course, Argentina, the breaking news in the world of sports is also trending across national dailies.
So bringing us now to Daily Sun, the reps speaker on insecurity, the reps are speaking on insecurity, saying, we can no longer pretend. We need every form of security to be in shape. And also we're having fresh trouble for agency amid Ameshi's choice as VP candidate. That's a major headline there. And now we have court orders, parties deregistration for not fulfilling constitutional provision. And here we have Governor Okwebolo condemns adoption of housewives, orders immediate security action. IPOP slams Soludo over remarks on Obi's call for Kano's release. Ex-Nansima boss flays IMF's proposed telecoms petrol taxes on Nigerians. And that's it with Daily Sun.
Next, we have the Vanguard. On Vanguard, gunmen raid Kogi School, abduct principal, NECO official, students. State police, governor's can't turn outfit into private army, says Abbas. And of course, alleged money laundering, court orders, final forfeiture of Malami's 48 properties. Then, of course, 93% of email state offenders, half don't need to be in jail. Half of those there are not supposed to be there. That's what the paper is saying. FG NDDC mobilized $500 million Niger Delta Agric Fund to galvanize food production. Xenophobia. FG concludes South Africa evacuation brings home 1,490 Nigerians. That's what we have in Vanguard.
Now moving to the Empire, the major story there says court orders final forfeiture of over 40 properties worth 212.8 billion naira linked to Malami. Then court declares APC UK Congress illegal, bans political parties, diaspora chapters. Now the writer there, we have gunmen adopt 4 students, principal NECO officer during NECO exam. And that's it with the Empire.
I'm sure that's all we have in the papers for today. When we come back, we shall be looking at some of the headlines that are of interest to the public. Stay with us. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, we don't just report events, we tell the human stories behind them.
We impose extra burden on the masses. I feel your pain.
Only humility will lead us to unity, and unity will lead us to peace.
Go to the market and sell your products.
Dott Entertainment, your weekly dose of pure fun, airing every Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Saturdays, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. only on Dott TV.
Yes, welcome back. Quite a flurry of headlines in the papers. We'll see how we can take a few of them because Godfrey Barker is already in the studio with us. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Henry.
Yes. I see that when you come here, you smile because of...
I smile because we have a number of things in common. But I also smile because I think it will help my marketability before your women.
Okay. Yeah, I like the way you give them to me. I don't refuse them.
Please just take them.
Blessed in their midst. I have a queen. I have a PhD holder. Why not? I got to Bugana. All right, let's go straight to business. Our president, it has been announced that he's going for UN General Assembly in September. Yes, September is far away, but if he has to address the world, given the situation in our country, what will be the content of his address?
Oh, well, I think that news was broken about yesterday, midweek, by Nigeria's permanent representative in UN, talking about Senator Jimoh Ibrahim. You remember him?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
He was known for taking up outfits that are almost collapsing and either making them to further collapse or
revamp them.
Yes, he had some role with the Newswatch owners.
Yes.
And when he came to buy over Newswatch, and we were expecting Newswatch will come back. But put that aside, he addressed the Government House press call yesterday, and he told them that Nigeria's president will be addressing the United Nations in September. And of course, the focus will be the reform. And of course, how the economic reforms have now translated into, inflation getting down and how the economy is working. And but the challenge I see in there is that in public communication, credibility and trust matters in your content. Those he will be addressing perhaps know Nigeria almost as well as he himself does. And so we do expect that in the packaging of the address, because Jimoh went as far as saying that Tinubu, who has not officially met with Donald Trump, will be sitting just 2-3 seats away. And that he should not be asked, nobody should ask him how that was worked out, the seating arrangement.
Wonderful.
You understand?
Yes.
But that they will have an opportunity to talk. Some persons will not find that comfortable. For goodness sake, Trump is a president.
Yes.
Yeah, his nation is powerful.
Yeah.
Yes, but we can also make Nigeria powerful.
That's right.
And that a president is going to sit 2, 3, 4 seats away from another. It almost speaks about condescending to
in alphabetical order.
In alphabetical order.
So sitting is not
and
it's a coincidence.
But what is important is that
what he will tell the world.
He will tell the world.
Yes.
He's going to talk about the reforms. And we do know that some of the things being told to us here in Nigeria about the reforms are not in sync with the reality on ground.
Okay.
Yes, reforms are good, but what's the gestation period for reforms to start
affect the
yielding
people?
Dividend?
Okay.
If you tell me, Godfrey, tighten your bed morning and evening because over the next 2-3 months, we need to save up this in order to pay the children's school fees.
Okay.
I should be able to know the timeline, and I have a goal and why I am tightening my belt. But if I'm tightening my belt as the husband, head of the home, and each time I come, I meet my wife on a bowl of chicken and all that, and I begin to think that there is a
Why
disconnect.
are you reversing the role? Is it not you that should bring the chicken? Is you that should tell them to tighten their belt?
If a section
Why should your wife tell you to tighten your belt?
if the people are tightening their belt,
yes,
and you see those in government, political elites, loosening their belts and amassing wealth,
eating fat,
and then of course something is happening that is not right. Then we need to change that trajectory so that we don't end up in a tragedy.
There's a publication I saw, just a follow-up on this issue of reform, assuming that's what he wants to tell the world. The World Bank report says 79% of Nigerians are poor, despite the reforms. Are they being exact, or they're just speaking?
No, what that means is that the reform, there's no sincerity of purpose in the reform. The reform is not achieving the desired goal.
Okay.
Or is not being carried out in a way that what's the aim of a reform? So that the economy can get to work better, so that the people can be empowered. But we cannot be reforming, we can't be sincere about a reform that at the end of the day you are seeing, from today's newspaper headlines alone,
yes,
you can see in one of the papers that the Senate is not comfortable with NNPCL over trillions of naira that are unaccounted for. And that's the nerve center of our economy. Then we are also talking of agencies that are not existing, that are being funded. We are talking about trying to, people who serve in government forfeiting that and all that. Our government structure is still too bogus. Very, very unrealistic. The average convoy of even a local government chairman doesn't speak of a nation in reform. Not to talk of the president, not to talk of the governors. So the reform is taking place in the segment of the lower class of the society that are being asked, if you were taking 3-4 meals a day before, you can now make it 1. Our students in the various institutions are going 101, or some of them 001, and all that. So the reform at that level. But for reform to achieve its goal, it should be holistic.
That's right.
And you show leadership by example. Let there be some level of cutting down of our very bogus structure of government and humongous expenditure pattern, which is not in tandem with, there is no serious investor that gets convinced over that we are carrying out reforms when they see the structure of our governance.
Okay, I will come in here because we know that recently the security issue in Nigeria was caught the attention of the US, and they came to help at some point. So I believe that given the issues we've had, even leading up to the 2027 election, these are issues that may make up what the president may say. I'm looking at security and the fact that the US collaborated with Nigeria as one of the things that he will acknowledge, especially seeing that the UN General Assembly will be taking place right in New York, in the US. So that location will influence, it will also bring an opportunity for perhaps this issue of visa restriction. between now, Nigerians cannot even apply. Fresh applications are not being accepted by the US. So we've seen that face off. It's somewhat diplomatic. It's as if the US is saying, focus on your country, solve your problems. We don't want Nigerians, running away. So how do you see these issues? Because even beyond talking about reforms and how lives are changing, the issue of insecurity
is paramount.
and migration. Do you think that these are...
Dr. Ife, you are right, perfectly right. What Jimoh Ibrahim has said is that the president is focusing on reform. But truth be told, the UN General Assembly does not congregate every day. Yeah. And this coming, just a few months to a general elections where the president will be standing, seeking to be re-elected, affords him once in a lifetime opportunity to actually package, as it were, his leadership message that is in tandem with not just about the local expectation, but also to gain international endorsement. Okay. Whether you like it or not, it's not very, very easy for anybody to emerge as Nigeria's president with just local acceptance. There should be a leveraging on international endorsement, especially Britain and, of course, America, because of our history, where we are coming from. So it affords President Tinubu an uncommon opportunity to speak to the world. But we have been told by the Nigeria's permanent representative for now in UN, in the person of Senator Jimoh Ibrahim, that the president will be focusing on his reform, the impact of his reform. And of course, you can't be talking about the reform without talking of, like you said, right, to the issue of insecurity. And of course, at some point during Buhari's time, we were told about corruption fighting back. I do not know now what is happening, whether corruption is fighting itself, corruption is coming down, or we are the ones fighting corruption, or corruption is escalating. But truth remains that waste pipe called corruption is yet to be tightened up for us to begin to see the dividend, because it is important that the dividend of democracy actually trickles down to the people.
All right, let's look at the issue of, you see, all the papers we're talking about, an ex-official of government who is forfeiting about 48 properties.
You mean Malami?
Malami, the person of Malami. And these properties are not, one of them is a university. Now, forfeiting them, as the court has ruled, do you think that's enough deterrent to those who are seeking to use government office to loot public funds?
Well, I think the ones to be forfeited are the ones that are traceable to himself.
Okay.
But of course we do know that
there could be others.
Yes, because when the way the operational dynamics of corruption in our climate is that there are those people who hold in trust for you by proxy.
Yeah.
We know a senior advocate of Nigeria who, for now, the Legal Council of Nigeria has had to say you are no longer to be accorded the respect of a son.
Yeah.
And it had to do with some of the property in London that were traceable to Jerry Oseni and traceable to that he was managing them on his... So we have a situation that corruption has gotten so deeply entrenched that tomorrow you are elected the governor of Delta State, and we have been co-appearing in a program like this, and one of the ideas I will sell to you is that I should be...
Something should be done in my name.
Yes, you should be able, over the years, you can trust me. So the limelight is on you. But one of the ways is that some investment can be done in my name. At the end of the day, if the system is probing you, they will probe those they can trace to you. The ones that are not traceable to you, are seen to be safe, as it were. So that is the very unfortunate development about the dynamics of our... The other arm of your question, whether forfeiting them to the government, is that enough deterrent? It cannot be.
Okay.
It cannot be. We've had nations of the world where people who were adjudged to have misappropriated, to themselves what was supposed to be used to develop the society. Some were shot, some were publicly executed. If you say that is, atavistic now, that is to the extreme. But some people should serve. We have had situations where courts in Nigeria, protected certain persons, but they went abroad and they had to serve certain punishment.
Yeah.
We should be able to give some bite to all our crusade and all our preaching against corruption. If he forfeits, that is like treating corruption with kid gloves, because there are still property that he can leverage on. Yeah. That's another dimension. Another dimension is that I can assure you that if he had declared for the ruling party, this prosecution will not come to this level.
Under the carpet.
But of course, when he left office, as powerful as he was under Buhari, it was clear that he was supporting the opposition, just like El-Rufai, who opened his mouth to say that people like him will not rest until Tinubu's government is brought down. And as such, they had to rake up things. And today he's paying for it.
Dues.
Do you understand? So now, fighting against corruption is good. But when it's selective, it now becomes defective.
Okay.
Let's have a level playing ground. It's not that if I declare for a ruling party, my sins are washed away. I am canonized. I become a saint. There are a number of them now are forgiven immediately. That's selective. Somebody call it blackmail. So what does EFCC do? What do they do in EFCC? They now look up things about you, and it's not to fight corruption, but these are the things, but these are the options. Otherwise, some persons will come and they say, if you defect to the ruling party, then of course all these things are swept under the carpet. And you defect to the ruling party. It is very inimical. It's dangerous to our democracy. If we want to fight corruption, let us do it frontally. Let us do it holistically. Not selective application of clean, because he who must come to equity must come with clean hands.
About coming with clean hands, is it possible to make corruption unattractive, to make it almost impossible for public officers to be corrupt or to steal from
That's what we're saying now.
How do we make it unattractive?
It should be that
you can make it unattractive. Then you that are championing it, you must ensure that your hands are clean.
That's
you must
it.
ensure that you don't have any motive.
And beyond that, I think we all have a role to play. We no longer ask questions about sources of wealth.
Okay.
If you, for instance, get into a public office now and appropriate what should go for the development of health sector and take it to yourself, your traditional ruler is most likely to invite you
and give me a chieftaincy title.
Give you a chieftaincy title.
I'll buy it.
You understand?
That's
so
well.
you get it. So the traditional institution, they are not asking questions because poverty has become so preponderant. Poverty has become so overwhelming.
Everybody wants to have a bite.
Everybody wants to have some bite of it. And there's this traditional belief that government money is like a big elephant.
Yes.
The meat can never get finished.
It cannot be exhausted.
So our son, if you are going there, please,
as much as you can bring for us.
Just see how you can cut as much as you can. Even in the civil service, some of us, there were some little positions that we had the privilege of serving in. Upon being announced in that position, I know some of the messages some of us got. We know you could be a Christian, but be careful because after service there is life and all that. They are telling you, see how you can be smart and see how you do not take your faith. Don't take your faith too far.
Until we make public office unattractive in Nigeria, we haven't started.
All right.
So this means we're saying that corruption cannot be completely eliminated.
We'll continue with our conversation. Let's take a short review and stay with us.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew.
where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back. One of the headlines we saw in the paper is that Lake Chad is drying up, and it's a threat to the whole world. I don't know what that means. Is it from the point of view of electricity, food, or trade?
Yeah, so climate action.
Yeah, it's one of the byproducts of the climate change and the issue of desertification. Somebody will say, oh, Lake Chad drying up, what does it mean to me in South-South? It means a lot, because with the desertification, the headers are moving further down south.
Competing for
green for the greenery. And that is one of the reasons why you keep having this clash. They are pastoralists, and by inclination, by their culture, there's not much they can do different from that. And you see them being desperate about how that culture and how that form of livelihood can be sustained, And when they come down south, somewhere in the Benue, in the Plateau, and further down here in the South-South, you see that there is a clash. You call it cultural clash. And of course, the ordinary header out there is just but the person controlling the cattle, the herd. The investors could be in the Senate.
That's right.
They could be the president. And
you mean the owners of
the owners, So to avoid what they call cattle rustling and some of these issues, they also have to arm them.
Okay.
And in the midst of that, because they penetrate and they know the terrain, the issue of Boko Haram and the insurgents have had to penetrate them.
Yeah.
And so you see that there is an admixture, a very dangerous interwoven network between them, the issues of kidnap and the issues of insurgency that we are going through. They know our forests, sometimes better than even the communities who have the forest, So the situation should be better managed, and we should also see what we can do with taking seriously the issue of afforestation.
Okay.
Afforestation. If you get to the city of Maiduguri, you still see dogoyaro trees.
Okay.
There are trees that are resistant to deforestation and desertification. So those are the things we should. There are NGOs that are environment that are championing it.
Yeah.
And
UN agencies.
UN agencies are doing that. FAID is known for that. Fight against desert encroachment, which our brother Newton Jibuno, the desert warrior, is known for. So it should be sustained, and some of such things, so that, because at the end of the day, if we are down south and we say it doesn't concern us, it does concern us a great deal.
How do we localize some of these movements to save the environment? Is it possible to bring it down? Because sometimes you're talking about champions for the environment and they seem so far away.
Well, everybody is a stakeholder. We are almost getting very endangered here. Our elders seem to have lost control, and our youth are selling off the land, some for development, some for land grabbing, and at the end of the day, we found out that even our forebears, they may not have had PhDs, but they had a sense of planning.
Yeah.
There were even parts of the town that, they were forest reserve.
That's right.
But sometimes they christen them evil forest.
No, sacred forest.
Sacred forest.
Sacred.
Yes. I think you put it better. Sacred forest. To give you that sense of that you cannot encroach.
Okay.
But it was
It's
to
the white
give
man
a balance.
It's the white man that call it
Evil.
forest. Actually, for the traditional.
For the tradition, it was sacred.
You don't enter
But
there.
what was saying is a no-go area.
Yeah.
But these days, We are organizing everywhere.
But they were
we
unconscious
are
about what
selling.
they didn't know
We are selling
they
off
didn't know
everything.
the ecosystemic implication of what they were doing.
It was
They
to
just
balance
believed
the
that.
ecosystem. Yes.
All right, let's go to this one. 1,490 Nigerians evacuated from South Africa, and they say the job has ended. This figure, does it compare with the number of Nigerians in South Africa who perhaps are not documented?
Well, I think they are dealing with the ones who volunteered to. There were people who came down on their own.
Yes.
But the Nigerian embassy is telling you those who the flight they
Federal
arranged,
government, yes.
those who
To evacuate.
who they evacuated,
Yeah.
which is almost 1,500 thereabout. You know, so it tells you to what extent the Nigerians tried to sustain the economy of South Africa.
Yeah.
I once said it even on this program that I watched a video of evacuation of Nigerians, you know, xenophobia, the day after. And you saw that their major business districts were empty.
Yeah.
And you saw that people were asking themselves, have we taken the right decision? What does that tell us? The average Nigerian is not a lazy person.
Industrious.
They are industrious. They are sustaining the economic structure of nations, including that of South Africa.
They're also boisterous.
Yes.
Boisterous.
There were even counter protests of those who are saying they are our employers. They are our husbands. You ask them to go, and are we to go with them and all that? You know, so I think it's just a phase. We expect that they regularize their papers, and over time things can still return to some level of normalcy.
I hope it won't be a pattern that after a while we'll keep talking of it, because this has been a recurring decimal. From time to time you hear, I think researchers should actually map these breakouts of xenophobia, and you will see that it's a pattern.
I think
it's actually a pattern.
It is a pattern. This is not the first. Yes.
It's one of the byproducts, you know, evil one at that, of our neglecting the study of history. If we study history and know what the likes of Kwame Nkrumah preached about the oneness of Africa, you know, then of course we should be able to treat a fellow African as a brother. We have had Ghana. South Africans have a defense. They say Ghana did it first. That Ghana sent away Nigerians.
No, Nigerians sent away
Ghana first.
Also did. Yes,
Ghana
Ghana
first sent
was
in the
Ghana
60s.
Okay.
Ghana first sent.
Okay.
You know what happened during Shagari when our economy was having a serious downturn, and we were saying that you know, undocumented immigrants should go, and that was a great exodus. The Ghanaians were going, and a bag was Christian, Ghana must go, was a follow-up to that. And now Nigerians are saying, Ghanaians are saying Nigerians should leave. You know, so this understanding of taking a fellow African as not a brother, but somebody who has come to take over what is my right in terms of jobs and all that. We should increase opportunities in Africa, and we should understand Pan-Africanism talks about one Africa. What the colonialists did was an artificial organizing, and it wasn't done neatly. That's why you see some English-speaking people in Cameroon, and you see the others this way.
English.
And that's why you see in Southwest, you see here it's Yoruba, and you move over there, you see some Yorubas in Togo and all that. So Africa should understand that there is one Africa, and let us see how we can build our economy towards a strong, formidable Africa. Have you ever imagined that should there be a one currency that is for the entire Africa and an economy that is free? ECOWAS tried to do that with free entrance, free this thing. But at the end of the day, what we are having now as pockets of states
actually
not strong enough.
Even on at the level of ECOWAS, there's what we call the ECOWAS Charter. It permits you as a member to travel to another country and stay 90 days without visa and without taking up any formal employment. Now, this is what people are violating, because most people enter into another country, no paper, nothing, and then they just go there and start normal life, start leading lives and doing business and all that. That's a violation.
Yeah.
So most of this is a violation.
Beyond that, the xenophobic thing in South Africa,
Yes.
They try to premise it more on the fact that they need to control criminality.
Okay.
You know, and came up with that label, which is more of a fallacy.
Yeah.
That the crime rate in South Africa
It's
surged
because of
Nigerians.
Or immigrants.
You know, immigrants.
Black immigrants.
Black immigrants.
All right.
That's the
Deadline for
situation.
submission of candidates, and we are still having arguments. Where are we on that matter? You know.
Oh, well, the arguments are understandable.
Okay.
Because a number of the parties have not been able
They're
to
asking
put...
for extension.
Yeah, they are asking for
And we-
extension.
we-
There was an
We
extension.
anticipated
Yes,
that.
yes.
There was an extension.
Yes.
But
and
with
then
their
they're asking for more.
factionalization
Yes.
and some of them not being able to upload their the names of
They are
their
still arguing
candidates.
over their candidates.
Exactly. So if they are asking for a window of extension, then perhaps INEC should, in one way or the other, bend over backwards. Because at the end of the day, if the contest is more pluralistic, then perhaps it will be better for us.
All right. Before we round up, there's this story, rather disturbing, that we had about 210 billion naira budgets. Could I be exact? For World Cup.
Yes.
World Cup. Nigeria, we knew that Nigeria did not qualify.
It's
Or we did
actually
not eventually.
6.4 billion.
Or we did not.
6.4
Nigeria did not
Okay,
go.
we did not
So
eventually.
what's the
6.4
budget
billion
for?
World Cup
Yes,
budget.
for
Yes, we
budget.
did not
What
quite-
is it for?
We did not quite qualify for World Cup.
That tells you why we didn't qualify.
Okay.
That
could
tells
it be,
you
could
why
it be,
we didn't
could it be that
qualify.
the budget has been prepared, anticipating that Nigeria will qualify?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
You know, now it tells you the
So what
foundation why
happens?
we didn't qualify.
Okay.
It explains to you what is happening in NFF. It explains to you the tragedy of a nation that is founded on corruption. You know, this 6.4 billion, when we didn't go there as a team, you understand. Now, whether they should now explain to Nigerians whether this was used to support Nigerians who were playing for other nationals, because there were some Olysses and some Ezes.
The explanation is what I'm trying to tell you.
No.
That it was anticipated that if Nigeria qualified, the officials that
Nigeria did not qualify. Nigeria did not qualify. Nigeria wanted to qualify through the back door.
At the time
and
the budget was
eventually
prepared.
didn't qualify.
Okay.
Now this was not just budgeted.
Okay.
It has been expended.
Oh.
It has been. The 6.4 billion has been released
Expended.
for Nigeria's participation in the World Cup.
Wonderful.
Another phantom budget
Phantom.
head
Yes.
and budget
Yes.
release. And meanwhile, Nigeria,
Really
that
don't
is
even
that,
go NFL.
that explains to you why we are not likely to develop. Because any democratic system or structure that plays down on accountability, you know, and has a selective crusade against corruption, of course, cannot go far. That is the dilemma of where we are.
Now,
All right.
will this money be returned to the treasury? Now, of
Will
course,
it be
it's
returned?
apparent.
He said the money is expended.
It's
Yeah.
spent. It's spent
It's been
already,
expended.
so-
And this
so-
is why our football is not going far.
That's true.
Okay.
This
A lot
could
of-
have
a lot of
given us
issues.
this could have given us how many stadia, you know,
Mm-hmm.
where we can have facilities to train. You know, if Nigeria had also gone to the World Cup, we have seen situations where our teams, until they protest
Yeah.
that they are not going out for training,
The allowances are
the
not
allowances are not paid.
Allowances have
Yes.
been paid here, carried along with them. Did not-
Yes,
didn't
they
get it.
play and win, and you have presidential handshake, and they tell you a house donated to you is also placed, and
the
it
end
will
of the
take
day.
another lifetime for
Some-
you to have
some don't
it.
see the house.
Some
That
never
is what
see,
it
some
says.
never see.
Another lifetime.
Then what motivates
Yes.
you as a citizen to
play
go
for your
all
country.
out there
Now,
and wear your
Upon hearing
nation's
this
flag?
at this time, that Nigeria did not even qualify in the first place for the World Cup. So, could it be that we can't? I'm asking, we can't, heal from corruption, or corruption cannot be stylishly eliminated.
I don't know how stylish corruption can be eliminated.
Eliminated.
But we should have a holistic approach towards
yes.
fight against corruption.
Yes.
You know, somebody once said, was it Dora Akuyili of blessed memory? You know, kill corruption, or corruption will kill you. It's a cancer and it's endemic. But the fact that we are carrying on with it and pretending that we can make progress with it, you know, that's the worst deceit. You know, it's
all right.
It's a delusion.
Godfrey, thank you for being there. We'll always have you on this program. Viewer, I'm sure you followed us, and of course you are part of what we're saying. Even in your quiet corner, avoid corruption, because all of us are talking about corruption. Nobody is doing anything to be proper in approach to public finance. Let's do something. Let's keep our hands clean. I will be back to continue with other things on Morning Dew. See you.
So we'll bring that guy.
Wake up with us every morning.
What are we going to discuss?
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, we don't just report events, we tell the human stories behind them.
We impose extra burden on the masses. I feel your pain.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Welcome back, and thank you for still being there. We have been on conversations around what was reported in the papers today. We're shifting a little. From what we can see, everything is building up to 2027 election. It's not far away now. Now I want to look at how we're ready. Every sector of the political space, how ready are we, the politicians, INEC, and of course, journalists, the media, who reports, who observed. How ready are we for this? And that is what we want to discuss with our guest now, the person of Churchill, Comrade Churchill Oyowi, who is the chairman, State Council of the NUJ, Nigeria Union of Journalists. You're welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Sir.
All right, we have a lot of issues thrown up. Let me start with you. How much are you concerned about journalists doing their work? You are our father in the state. How much are you concerned about journalists doing their work to ensure that at least our own side of the bargain is properly handled without fingers being pointed at us? Are we expecting trainings, conferences for journalists?
Okay, well, let's look at our rules. We are expected to be an ombudsman in this case.
Okay.
We should report unbiasedly proceedings that are going on before, during, and even after. That is our rule. We are expected to be objective.
Unbiased.
We're supposed to be accurate with our reporting.
Okay.
We're expected to be neutral and, as much as possible, balance your stories. We are expected to, in the course of scrutinizing, be unbiased. We're expected to be in the course of informing, not inflame.
Okay.
In the course of educating, not manipulate. These are the things that a journalist should take into consideration. But my fear is that we have been infiltrated by people who are not passionate about the profession. They have interests. They have started taking sides.
They're partisan.
They have become partisan. And that is a big threat to our integrity as a profession. So it's a wake-up call. It's a time to remind our members once again that we have a professional calling. And that calling is to remain unbiased in our offerings. If you cannot remain unbiased, then quit the profession so that we will know where you belong.
Okay.
A lot of them have received or have gotten political appointments. A lot of them are even working for politicians, and they have compromised their status as journalists.
Okay, so what do you say about, journalists that are, employed or they're working with politicians as their media aid?
That makes you not to be a journalist again.
Okay.
Because you have now attached yourself to an interested party. So a journalist should not cover a politician for pecuniary reasons. If you are covering that politician, it's because you want to gather information. And you are not covering that politician to undo another politician. But that is what we see today. You see some of these inflamed issues as a result of partisanship among the practitioners. And it is not good for the profession. So going forward, we should be able to know those who are true journalists from those who are not. Those who are expected to be unbiased. Those who are expected to be neutral. Those are the people we should take seriously as journalists. Some people masquerade presently as journalists, whereas they have vested interest in a political party or in a particular politician. We should be, I think going forward, we should be calling them to order, to say...
Calling them out.
Calling them out, to say, you are not practicing journalism.
Okay.
This is public relations for a particular interest.
Okay.
And that way, the public will know that we are protecting our integrity as a profession. People should stop masquerading as journalists and be taking sides. The political era is not far from. We are even into the political era. So it is important that our members know that the public is watching us, so that we don't give the profession a bad name.
Today is a World Public Relations Day. Yes, yesterday we interacted with the chairman of NIPR, in Delta State, Mr. Godfrey.
Yeah,
and he
Osaka.
talked about, he talked about what public relations is. And it's just coincidental that you're here with us today. So can you make a distinction between journalism and public relations? Because he did say that journalists can also practice public relations. Yes, so, and be members of
by virtue of their
NIPR.
job.
Yeah, but can you make a distinction so we understand these things clearly?
Okay. Journalism is a profession that affects all sides. You look at the views of all interested parties, particularly when it involves controversial issues.
Okay.
Public relations is not like that. The public relations will dish out what it wants you to publish.
Okay.
It's usually one-sided.
Okay. They are laundering the image of the organization.
Yes, it's usually what is in their best interest
Okay.
that they want you to publish or to broadcast. But in the case of journalism, you are expected to look at the views all round.
Yeah, and be balanced.
And be balanced. That's what I meant. Be balanced. Bring out the perspectives. But in public relations, the organization wants you to just dish out what it has prepared.
Okay.
Most times, what I see published is public relations.
Okay.
And it's not good for journalism. It can even lead to litigation.
Yes.
2 weeks ago, I was forced to make a statement on our platforms, and it was even published, that when there are issues, controversial issues, you must verify your facts and you must reach out to the interested parties.
Okay.
Don't just go and publish one-sided story because you have been given some money and you are carried away.
Or it serves an
You are carried
advantage for
away.
you.
You are no longer oblivious of the ethics of the profession. So I made that because I know that very soon some of them will be facing litigations if they are not careful. Some persons might feel infringed, their rights infringed upon, and they might just take to legal redress. So that they will not say they were not warned, they were not cautioned. If you see a story that is controversial in nature, reach out to the other person. One of the ethical standard that we must observe is balance and objectivity. Not just balancing it. Some people are just balance it and give you 1 or 2 paragraphs, whereas you are giving the other person 10 paragraphs.
Okay.
You have to be fair.
Exactly. Balance first.
Give the person equal space, equal time. That's what makes it to be objective and fair. So, but they don't even observe all this. You just take one side and publish like that. It's unprofessional. And we have been telling them, these peanuts that you get, 10,000, 20,000, and you just go and sell your birthright just because somebody has given you something, is not professional. If you are taking on the cybercrime, we hold you. The Cybercrime Act might hold you. The one on defamation or libel can hold you. If the laws are there, as long as they have not been challenged to the level of the Supreme Court, the Cybercrime Act remains the law on ground. So we should be careful as journalists so that we don't run it. I've received, in this year alone, I've received 3 cases of our members falling into issues like this, libelous issues. One, after much pleading, he was asked to retrieve the story, do an apology letter, and that tests on your medium. It tests on the integrity of your medium. So we should not be carried away by what politicians will give to us now and just forget about the ethics of the profession. It's very important.
So talking about integrity, factuality, and clarity in reporting. So would you want to say, how would you address or rate the position of the media from our previous election and as we look forward to the 2027 elections?
The media has been incredible. It has been doing very well. What I'm emphasizing is that in this era of new media, social media, it is becoming preponderant for a few, the mistake of a few to be blown out of proportion. The mistake of a few that are not checked is not making others to see it as a norm. That's why we are sounding the alarm. It is not a norm for you not to observe the ethics of your profession. It is arbitrary. And again, we have a lot of people who are quacks. They are not trained.
Yes.
And even the politicians are encouraging them because for them, the ends justifies the means. As long as you are promoting me out there, how it is done.
That's the word, promote me.
How it is done does not matter. That's because I've always said something. The profession needs to be reorganized.
Okay.
We don't have a firm grip as a profession.
That's as leaders.
As leaders, we don't have a
As
firm
leaders
grip.
in the profession.
For now, it is not regulated by law. We have the Nigerian Press Council, 1992, which is like a lame duck. We need a council that can regulate both the print, the broadcast, and the new media.
Okay.
Just as you have the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, just as you have the Nursing Council of Nigeria, you have the Pharmaceutical Council of Nigeria, you have that of Current for engineering, survey, lawyers, legal people.
Okay.
They all have councils. These are internal mechanisms for calling their members to order. Ethics is not enough. Ethics is a moral duty.
Yeah.
All right.
It's something that you do discretionally.
Yes.
You can choose to, you can choose not to.
Obligatory.
That is what is governing journalism today. But we need a law that will pass by the National Assembly to regulate any profession that is not regulated is not a profession now. Okay. But we still call ourselves
professionals,
because
you must acquire the requisite certificate.
To make you it's rigorous when you are regulated. Right before you enter the university, the council must see to it that those who are entering the universities are those who are worth it.
How do you mean?
Now,
you want them to become JAM now?
No, what I mean is the nursing council, for example, has a hand in who becomes a student of nursing science.
Even before they get
How do they do that?
Yes, they have their what they approve.
Okay.
The number for a particular institution, a quota.
Okay.
Before you go in, they will look at your facilities. They will look at your manpower strength.
For the point of view of the institution.
For the sake of giving quality, not just quantity, education to the students. So right from the beginning, you are regulated.
Okay.
Before you finish, you will also be certified, qualified. Okay. And after you have been certified, qualified, just as you go for law school, you do your professional exams before you graduate as a nurse, before you are certified as a nurse or as a doctor or as a pharmacist. Before you are inducted, you do professional exams. Those things are not in the journalism profession. That's why you see that anybody who can string 2-3 lines has become an expert in the field.
Now, so let me ask a question here. From what you are saying, you said when a politician appoints somebody as political aid,
it becomes an associate member.
Partisan. Now, are you pushing? For instance, is the NUJ pushing that before a politician appoints anybody officially as an aide, he should clear from you? Or are you also, in other words, saying that anybody who becomes aide, says chief press secretary to speaker, chief press secretary to the governor, ceases to be your member for as long as he's serving the government? Has something like that be done?
No, they don't cease to be our members. What I'm saying is, for now, we don't even have that power as a union or as guild of editors or as SWAN. We don't have that power to stop anybody from being appointed. They can even go outside those who are qualified to appoint. But what we are saying is not helping the profession. If we are regulated, it becomes illegal for you to appoint somebody that is not trained for that job. And that is what is happening everywhere. we want it regulated so that not just anybody will do the job of a journalist or of a public relations officer.
Okay.
You have to be trained for it, just as you cannot be appointed a medical officer if you did not go to medical school, or a legal officer if you did not go to law school.
There's an important question. We need to set this in perspective. You talked about balance and fairness.
Yeah.
That is what is expected of an ideal journalist. But in the frame of that, sometimes journalists will tell you that freedom of information, we know we have the law in force. But do they come back to you to tell you that they could not access certain information? Because when it comes to public information, like from government and all, sometimes you want to balance a story. And you go to the ministry, you can't see the commissioner for weeks.
Yeah.
So sometimes, because you
nobody,
need to meet the
nobody
deadline.
you can provide you that
Yes. Because you need to meet the deadline, sometimes you're forced to publish, and then sometimes they will not come back to you for a rebuttal or to tell their story if it touches them. But how do you balance the need for balance?
Or what do you do in that situation?
And the freedom of information, is it fully working, especially in Delta State presently, from the feelers you're getting from journalists on the field?
Some of them have reported there are many constraints that they are going through, that in the federal law, it talks about 1 week, but it's much extended here in Delta State. That is a constraint. When they say they should domesticate the law, they did not say you should water down the effects. Perhaps that is what the State House of Assembly did. They did not help the Freedom of Information Law Act in that regard. But that's not the issue now. You are asking, what do they do if there are constraints?
Yeah.
Of course. There will be evidence that you have reached out.
Made effort.
You will report those evidence.
Yeah.
Phone call, text, WhatsApp messages were not answered.
Okay.
You put it in your reports.
And then it gives a balance.
It gives a balance.
That's right.
Okay.
So then the person who ignored you will be forced to now call you.
The information.
To if whatever was published was unpalatable, it will not be forced. So at every time, the journalist is not helpless. If they are professional, it's not helpless.
Now, do we have a procedure, or do I lay down procedure for discipline? You said sometimes you find that there are quacks, or somebody engages in act that is inimical to the practice of the faith. Do we have a disciplinary committee in the State Council of the NUJ?
Yeah, we have. It's, in fact, it's part of the lifespan of any school. Okay. But somebody was saying it should be beyond. It should be a standing committee that is beyond the lifespan of the school. Whenever a new school comes in, it sets up an ethics and disciplinary committee. Okay. And we have one today comprised of 5 members, and we have been looking at issues. The last one we resolved was very successful. It went well with all the parties. Okay. So whenever we have issues, we direct them first at the chapel level. Okay. If it is not resolved at the chapel level, you expect to cascade it to the state level. If it's not resolved, then you take it to the national.
Okay. A case at the local level can be taken to the national.
To the national. So we have these committees at the chapel level, at the state level, and at the national level. So the National Executive Council is the highest policy-making body aside the Triennial Conference that can preside on issues. So that is the level to which we have our internal control or mechanism for attending to disciplinary issues. Okay. But most times, they say if you are not satisfied, you can go to court. It's the court sometimes that resolves these issues. Okay. But it is expected that you must explore all the internal mechanism before going to court. Otherwise, if you do not exhaust them, you go to court. You cease, that person ceases to be a member of the NUJ. Okay. So we have been trying our own, but we need more than that. Okay. We need a council. We need a council. A council will make it possible for the space where professionals operate to be wider.
Okay.
Just as you cannot be a counsel to an individual if you are not a lawyer, that's how you cannot engage a public relations person or a media person that is not trained as a journalist or a public relations person. So we have a lot to gain when we are regulated by virtue of the existence of a council enacted at the National Assembly. We have not gotten there yet.
But are you pushing for it?
We are pushing.
As a body, I mean, from the state to national level, is there any push?
From the states?
Is there any framework already?
From the states, we have made representation to the national.
Okay.
I expect that the national will look at it and go to the National Assembly, particularly the House of Representatives, where that issue can be trashed. Mind you, in this democracy, from 1999 to date, in fact, in the 8th Assembly, this issue came up. But due to lack of understanding, it was killed.
Okay.
Lack of understanding in the sense that they said it will impinge on Section 39 of the Constitution, which talks about freedom of expression, freedom to publish, freedom to air. But there's no freedom that does not have checks.
And responsibility.
You understand?
Yeah.
And responsibility. Every freedom comes with responsibility. So that freedom is for all Nigerians. It's not for journalists. Our role is well spelled out in Section 22 of the Constitution to hold government accountable so that we can have good governance. But we need to be regulated because there's no freedom that is absolute.
Yeah.
If you are not regulated, that is what we are experiencing today is what we continue to see until we are regulated. And regulations comes with benefits, not just to tie your hands. They're not tying your hands. They're only telling you to be responsible.
Okay.
If you are a responsible journalist, nothing will go wrong. It's just that some of us refuse to be regulated and to be controlled.
We hope that
whereas no freedom is absolute.
Thank you, Churchill Oyewe. A man I should describe as a gentleman of the press. He's a complete gentleman.
He's a complete gentleman.
And a mentor and model for young journalists.
Thank you for coming. I see your advocacy for good journalism.
Thank you very much.
And we pray that as time goes on, your push from the state level will get the requisite attention at the national level, and we can have a council to regulate what we all are doing. Because even at this place, we are also part of it.
Absolutely. And then we can earn more as well when it's regulated because quacks will be removed.
It will also regulate your salary.
No, there will be minimum. There will be minimum level. If you go to I'm just taking your time. Those who are regulated, when they start them at the civil service level, a lawyer starts from level 12 or so. Doctor is now 13 or 14.
Is it because of the regulation or the work
they
do?
The work they do is more professional. It's more acceptable.
Okay.
You understand? If you are an engineer, they start you on level 9.
Okay.
So it comes with benefits. That is at the formal level.
All right. So much on that. Thank you for coming.
We anticipate the regulation.
Yeah, Churchill Oyewe. That's the state chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists. He has spoken a lot on the issues of practicing the profession in the state and even around the nation, that people tend to be a little bit partisan, which has not helped the profession. There are also quacks. He said efforts are being made to checkmate all this and give the profession its rightful place as the fourth estate of the realm. Viewer, thank you for staying with us. We'll continue with Morning Dew after this time out. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, we don't just report events, we tell the human stories behind them.
We impose extra burden on the masses. I feel your pain.
Only humility will lead us to unity, and unity will lead us to peace.
Go to the market and sell your products.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back. We are still on Morning Dew on Dott Television, and it's time to speak some French, or do we say learn? Learn some French from Francisca Anthony.
Je parle français.
Sois le bienvenu.
Merci, monsieur.
Okay.
Merci, madame. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour,
Bonjour,
monsieur.
mademoiselle.
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 C'est ça. That's it. Et bienvenue aujourd'hui. Bonjour à tous. Je m'appelle, comme d'habitude, Mademoiselle Anthony Francisca. Yes, I said that in French. In English right now. My name is Miss Anthony Francisca et soyez le bienvenu sur notre programme d'apprentissage du français. Et aujourd'hui, on a bien découvert les façons, 20 façons de dire bonjour et leurs réponses. Et what am I saying? What I'm saying is today we have so many ways to say good morning, hello, and how to say their responses. Remember, est-ce que vous rappelez que la fois passée, on a fait les salutations? Last time we did les salutations, which is French greetings, right? And we say, if you're not there, don't worry, you didn't miss it. C'est ça. On a dit bonjour is hello. Salut, hi, goodbye. Bonsoir, good evening, bonne nuit, good night, à plus tard. See you later, à bientôt, see you soon, à demain, see you tomorrow, bonne journée, have a nice day, au revoir, goodbye, comment ça va, how are you, ça va bien, merci, I'm fine, thank you. Bienvenue, welcome, and de rien, you're welcome. Then, this is all that we did last time. Yes, in case you're not there, as I said, you didn't miss anyone, this is just a recap. Ce sont les choses qu'on a fait. Donc, aujourd'hui, j'ai un joli sujet. Un joli sujet, oui. What am I saying? Today, I have a very sweet topic. What is it? Les 20 façons de dire bonjour. 20 ways to say what? Hello. Yes, 20 façons de dire bonjour et leur réponse. 20 ways to say hello with their responses. Yes, let us dive in. Est-ce que vous êtes prête? Are you ready? Yes, if you are ready, I'm ready. Est-ce que vous êtes prête? Si vous y êtes, me, je suis. On y va. We start. Numéro 1, number 1, bonjour. Yes, we are saying bonjour, which is hello or good morning. Then when someone says bonjour to you, what can you respond? Qu'est-ce que tu vas dire? Tu vas dire bonjour, which is bonjour. Comment allez-vous? Yeah, bonjour, like good morning, hello is how we now bring how are you. Ça va? Ça bouge? Hope you are there, right? Si possible, répétez après moi. If possible, repeat after me. Yes. Then number 1, numéro 1, bonjour, meaning hello, good morning. And the response should be again, bonjour. Then you can now say, comment allez-vous or comment ça va, which is how are you. Ça va? Et numéro 2, number 2, bonsoir, meaning good evening. Yes, when you say good evening to someone, which is bonsoir, what can you say in return? You can say bonsoir too. And then you can say comment ça va, which is how good evening, how are you doing? That's how it is. Oui. Et on continue. Salut. Number 3, numéro 3. Salut. Meaning hi or bye. That's informal. For your friend, for friends, for your child, for colleague. But when you're talking to that's extra person that is older than you, you now say it in a different way. Okay, we now say salut, meaning hi or bye. Then salut, what brings the response of salut? The same thing, salut. Ça va bien? Ça va bien? Salut, ça va bien? Hello, how are you? Hi, are you good? That's it, c'est ça. Et numéro 4, number 4, coucou, coucou. I so much love this. J'aime bien ça, vraiment. Et coucou, the meaning is hey, very informal, used with friends and family. Yes, coucou, this with your loved ones, family, friends, colleague. Coucou. And what should be the response of coucou? It is ça va? The same coucou, coucou, like coucou, coucou, ça va, ça va. Hey, how are you? They are all saying hello, hi, how are you? D'accord? Oui. Au revoir. That's the normal one that we have known already. Au revoir. Then if one say au revoir, the meaning is goodbye. And what will be your response when someone say au revoir to you? The same thing, au revoir. Then now say à bientôt. Goodbye, see you soon. Vous savez how French is? Vraiment, le français, c'est très joli et c'est très jolie langue. Yes, French is indeed a beautiful language. A beautiful, sweet, romantic language that you can afford to stop speaking. Okay, on continue. Let's continue. Et numéro 6, ça va? Oui. Numéro 6, nous avons comment allez-vous? Comment allez-vous? Comment allez-vous? Et what is comment allez-vous? Comment allez-vous is how are you? That is formal. Remember we said salut is hi, hello, hi. Then comment allez-vous? Meaning how are you? Formal. Then what should be our response in comment allez-vous? When I say is je vais bien, merci. Et vous? Je vais bien, merci. Et vous? Comment allez-vous? Je vais bien, merci. Et vous? That's the response. And that is, I am fine. Thank you. And you? You see how it is? Wow. On continue. Let's continue. Number 7. Number 7, we are here. Okay, under number 6 and 7, we have demand des nouvelles. That's the part 2. Asking someone how they are. That's how it comes, okay? Part 2, our part 2 said, demand des nouvelles, asking someone how they are. And that's what comes with comment allez-vous? How are you? Then, number 7, Numéro 7, which is number 7, comment ça va? And that's the meaning of how are you? Comment ça va? How is it going? That's informal. How is it going? Ça va? Vous êtes là? Are you there? Yes. J'espère vous répète après moi. I hope you are repeating with me, right? Yes. Okay, on continue. Numéro 7. Number 7. Comment ça va? Which is, how is it going? And what should be your response when you say comment ça va? You will say, ça va bien, merci. Et toi? Et toi? Then, I am good, thank you. And you? I am good, thank you. And you? Comment ça va? Yes. Oui. On continue. Numéro 8. Ça va bien. Ça va? Ça va is a question. And what is the meaning? How are you? Are you good? Are you okay? And what should be the response? We will say, oui, ça va. Et toi? Oui, ça va. Et toi? Are you okay? Are you good? Ça va? Oui, ça va. Et toi? Ça va? Let's go. Numéro 9. Number 9. Comment vas-tu? Comment vas-tu? Meaning, how are you? That's to a friend. Comment vas-tu? Yeah, if you are, I know you have a friend, tell him or her, comment vas-tu? Yes, someone said that. Thank you. Merci. Comment vas-tu? Which is, how are you? Comment vas-tu? How are you? Then, what should be your response? Quelle est votre réponse? C'est, je vais bien. Je vais très bien, merci. Je vais très bien, merci. Je vais très bien, merci. Which is, I am very well, thank you. Yes. Et numéro 10, number 10, quite enough. I so much love this then. Quite enough, quite enough. That's what the meaning is, what's new? What's new? Quite enough. That's so many ways to ask someone, how are you? Yes, quite enough. What should be your response in quite enough? We have pas grand-chose. Et toi? Which is not much. And you? Pas grand-chose. Pas grand-chose. Et toi? Which is not much. And you? C'est ça. Et numéro 11, number 11, which is part 3. This part 3 expresses the expression police, which is la politesse. Yes, polite French expressions. You know, we have so many French expressions, but these ones are the basic French expressions for the beginners. Remember, all we are doing is we are into French for the beginners. French, le français pour le débutant. And what am I saying here? That's why we are saying, let us bring the basic French greetings and how to respond to them. Okay? And les expressions polies. Oui, polite French expression. That's our part 3. Part 3, numéro 11. Numéro 11 said, part 3 said, merci. Oui, merci. Merci is thank you. Everyone knows that. Merci beaucoup. Merci, merci. Merci. And what should be your response when someone says merci to you? You can say, je vous en prie, or de rien. De rien, je vous en prie. That should be our response. De rien, je vous en prie. And again, which is, you are welcome. If someone says thank you, that means you're welcome. De rien, very simple. De rien. Okay. Number 12, numéro 12. S'il vous plaît, meaning please. That's formal. S'il vous plaît. Anything vous is formal. Okay. Anything toi is informal. Okay. Vous, s'il vous plaît, meaning please. And what should be your response when someone says s'il vous plaît? You now say avec plaisir. Oh, so sweet. C'est très joli. Avec plaisir. With pleasure, yes. S'il vous plaît, with pleasure, avec plaisir. That's all. Et c'est tout. Numéro 13, number 13. S'il te plaît. Have you seen it? Before we have s'il vous plaît, formal. Now we are having s'il te plaît, which is informal of it. S'il te plaît, that's for your friends, your colleagues. S'il te plaît, which is pas de problème. That is our response. C'est notre réponse. Et response is pas de problème. No problem. S'il te plaît, no problem, no problem. It's okay, it's fine, no problem. S'il te plaît, pas de problème. Numéro 14. Number 14. Excusez-moi. Excusez-moi, excusez-moi. Meaning, excuse me, that's formal. And what will you say when someone says, excusez-moi? Yes, we'll say, je vous en prie. You're welcome. Je vous en prie. Excusez-moi. Réponse. Répondez, je vous en prie. Very simple. Okay, don't mention, that's the meaning. Don't mention or you're welcome. Numéro 15, number 15. Pardon, pardon, pardon. Meaning sorry. Yes, or pardon. Sorry, pardon, pardon. And what should be our response when we say that? Ce n'est rien. It's nothing. Pardon, sorry. Ce n'est rien. It's nothing. Ce n'est rien. So no rien. So no rien. Pardon. Et numéro 16, which is our part 4. Yeah, that's the finishing of our lesson. Part 4. Numéro 16, number 16, said enchanté. Yes, enchanté with the that is being added is for female. Without double E is for male. Yes, masculine, feminine. Don't worry, we'll get there. Yes. Aujourd'hui, nous avons enchanté. Enchanté, which is, we are in part 4. Part 4 says rencontrer quelqu'un. Meeting and introducing yourself. If you want to meet someone, if you want to introduce yourself to someone, this is the part now. And we say rencontrer quelqu'un, meeting someone. And 17, numéro 17, said, comment vous appelez-vous? Comment vous appelez-vous? Comment vous appelez-vous? Which is, what is your name? That's formal. Anything vous, remember, is formal. Anything toi is informal. Then we have comment vous appelez-vous, which is, what is your name? And what should be our response? Our response should be, je m'appelle, like myself, my name is Francisca. And I say, je m'appelle Francisca. C'est tout. Comment vous appelez-vous? Yeah, someone just say his name. Merci. Comment vous appelez-vous? Je m'appelle, your name. Je m'appelle, et vous, you know, ask someone, et vous, and you. Okay, my name is Francisca, and you not say your name. Je m'appelle, your name. Ça va? Ça bouge, n'est-ce pas? It's going right? Ok, on y va. Numéro 18. Numéro 18, c'est tu t'appelles comment? Tu t'appelles comment? It's almost comment vous appelez-vous. Remember, vous and tu. They're all working together. Tu is informal with vous formal. Then we say tu t'appelles comment? Oui, tu t'appelles comment? We can say comment tu t'appelles, but that one is old French. Yes. That now we are no longer dealing with old French. We are now in our 21st century. So we are saying tu t'appelles comment? Yes. What is your name? Which is, what should be your response? You have to respond. Je m'appelle. Example, if your name is David, it says, je m'appelle David. That's the French name of David. David. Je m'appelle David. Et toi? Je m'appelle Francisca. And you see, my name is David. And you? My name is Francisca. Yes. Numéro 19. À bientôt. Number 19. À bientôt. Remember that we are dealing with rencontrer quelqu'un, meeting someone or introducing yourself to someone. Numéro 19. Nous avons à bientôt. It's a popular French. À bientôt, à bientôt. And the meaning is see you soon. Then, what should be your response? Notre réponse, c'est à plus tard. À plus tard. Yes, I love it. À plus tard. See you later. See you later. À bientôt. À bientôt. See you soon. À plus tard. See you later. Et La fin, nous avons le numéro 20. Number 20, nous avons bonne journée. Bonne journée. Bonne journée. The meaning is have a good day. Yes. And what should be our response when we say have a good day? We are saying merci. À vous aussi. Thank you. You too. Thank you. You too. Merci à vous aussi. Yes. Merci à vous aussi. À bien, bonne journée, which is have a good day. Merci à vous aussi. Then, you know, all these are French, 20 French ways to say hello and with their response. You cannot do without it. That's the beginning of French. Anything greetings, you must start with the bonjour, how are you, comment ça va, have a nice day, where are you, no, all this French is le débutant, français boulot débutant, ce sont les français. Et aujourd'hui, est-ce que je vais répondre? Should I go and repeat it? Yes, someone said yes. Okay, let me go back. Before I go back, est-ce que vous êtes une question, monsieur, ça va?
Oui, ça va bien. Merci.
Okay. Ça va, mademoiselle, madame?
Bien, merci.
Okay, I hope you grab one or two things, right?
Yes.
Oui.
Oui, I like that. Oui. Okay, and today, let us just do a little recap on what we just did now. Yes, if you're just joining us, we are welcome. Soyez le bienvenu sur notre programme de français pour le débutant. You're welcome to our very own French for the beginners. Yes. Français, c'est ici qu'on apprend le français chaque jour comme un débutant. Et what am I saying? We are going to start all over again. Let me do a little recap with what we did now. Okay, on y va. Let's go. We are here to say 20 ways of French greetings with their responses. Yes. Le 20 leçon, façon de dire bonjour et leur réponse. Here we say bonjour. Number 1, bonjour. Bonjour, hello. Say good morning. Yes, if someone's telling you bonjour, just greet back. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. You see, how are you? Fine. Comment ça va? Bonjour, bonjour. That's the response. Then, bonsoir. Bonsoir, which is good evening. Good evening. And when someone says bonsoir, what should be your response again? You now say the same thing, bonsoir. Then now ask, ça va? Comment ça va? Good evening, how are you? Bonsoir. Okay, let me just take the last part, which is number 4, part 4. That one is very necessary. Raconter quelqu'un, meeting someone, because we always meet people. Then this one, number 17, comment vous appelez-vous? Meaning, what is your name? Je m'appelle, your name. And comment vous appelez-vous? Comment tu t'appelles? Je m'appelle, your name. Et toi? À bientôt. See you soon. À plus tard. See you later. Yes. Bonne journée, which is number 20, which is have a good day. And if someone said that, what will you say? You say merci à vous aussi. Ok, c'est tout. On va arrêter ici aujourd'hui. Merci beaucoup pour notre temps et pour m'écouter. D'accord? Oui, merci.
Right, thank you, Francisca.
Merci. Bon.
Yes, we are gradually we're
Merci.
entering into the deep waters. I see that today's lesson is very deep.
Of course.
Okay, but of course, like in every language, there are various ways of saying things. Some of them in slang, some of them in formal language. That's what she's teaching us in French, how to meet somebody. Hi, how are you? Good day, have a good day. See you later. That's what we learned today. And of course, I'm sure when we come next week, we'll do a short recap so you can sync. Thank you, Francisca, for coming.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Coucou.
Coucou. Oh, coucou.
Ciao.
Oh, merci beaucoup.
À plus tard.
Oui, à plus tard. Merci. Et bon week-end.
Bon.
Yes.
Bon.
Bon
Est-ce
week-end.
qu'on
Parce que quand je rentre, quand je lève, quitte maintenant,
Ok,
on va
tu
se...
reviens
C'est
la
ça.
semaine prochaine.
Donc,
Okay,
bon week-end.
she's saying have a good weekend because the next time she's going to come is a new week, Tuesday next week. All right, that's where we hold it on French. Let's go back to English on Morning Dew. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back. And one of the contemporary issues we're looking at is community development. A lot of what we do is how we can develop our communities. There's so much of rural-urban drift, leaving our communities, in quote, the real communities underdeveloped, and the effort is being made to plow back to the community. Now, for that reason, we had a conversation with somebody on community development. I'm sure you enjoy it when you watch it. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Hello there, and welcome to the Contemporary Talk segment of Morning Dew. On this segment, we'll be discussing something that is important to government and to the people, talking about community development. And to do justice to that, I have a man in the studio who describes himself as a politician par excellence, a man who is frank in his talk, a man who is able to say his mind at every time in every place. Talking about Ogbueshi Honorable Taju Isiche, who is the executive assistant to the Delta State Governor on community development. He is also the chairman, College of Executive Assistants to the state governor in the state. That's the much we can use to welcome Honorable Taju Isiche to the studio.
Greetings to you, sir.
You're welcome.
I greet you.
All right. To begin with, let's look at the whole concept of community development as an office in governance. What is the components, or what are the components of community development? When we say community, what are the things about? What are we looking at?
Thank you very much. When you talk about community development, it's all about the community.
Okay.
There's none of us that is living today in the urban area, like the state capital, that does not come from a community.
Okay.
In fact, even we in the urban area where we reside is still a community. Community is a place where a group of people live and practice their daily activities. And if that is the case, the paramount interest or responsibility of government is the safety, security, and welfare of the people and their property. Hence, this community are to be developed for conducive living. We must have a conducive environment where you can live as a human being.
Yeah.
Number one priority is cleanliness.
Cleanliness.
Like the Bible says, it says cleanliness is next to godliness. So we must live as human beings who are supposed to be image of God.
Okay.
Therefore, your community must be developed. You talk about, one of the questions you asked is about the interest or maybe the reason for community development.
Yes, as an office.
As an office. The governor is there upstairs.
Okay.
He cannot be everywhere. Hence, it gets some people into government by appointment, someone like me too, to be his eye in different community.
Okay.
And as we are from those community, it means the governor's presence is there. Our duty is also to collate what we believe are the needs of the community where we come from and channel it to the governor. And by so doing, when the governor also is preparing budget for the year, those ideas, those requests, and those needs of the community will be captured.
Okay.
And sometimes you see development in your community, you don't know how it comes. It's because somebody is informing the governor about the need of his people. For example, there may be some community that are already blessed with road network.
Okay.
And they may be lacking in health.
Okay.
If the next fiscal year budget comes and you are still giving them road, may not be well appreciated.
Okay, now that you have got into this junction,
yeah,
let me ask you a question. Most of the time, communities complain that government give them projects that they don't need. They don't look into what they need.
Good.
And it's like you said, a community is in dire need of water.
Yes.
And then you bring.
That is where I'm going.
That
is where the community.
Solar light.
Yes. That is where the experts or the appointees of government, like we are being named now, executive assistant to the governor on community development. So my duty is to know the need of my people.
Yeah.
Know what they are yearning for. And also, as an EA to the governor on community development,
yes,
another quicker way for you to make job easy for you is to liaise with the president generals of different communities.
Okay.
And chiefs of different community,
okay,
head of different community, like we have the Diokbas, we have the king, and so on. Then you have the community leaders, you have the youths, you have the women. As an EA to the governor, you must relate well with these people. And by so doing, you will know what the need of those communities are. This government, for example, the government of Governor Sheriff Oborowore has even done well that there is no local government or ward in Delta State that does not have a EA.
Okay.
This is the first time such a thing is happening.
So every
local government have an EA.
Okay.
And there are some areas that you will see more than one EA in the local government. I've seen some local government that even have up to 3, 5, or even more EAs.
All right.
And now it is being spread to the world. No 2 EAs, for example, where you have more than one EA, for example, in a local government, no 2 EA will come from a ward.
Okay.
It will be spread.
Now, looking at the issues of development as from the communities, we see a situation where, for instance, project is awarded and there is misunderstanding between the community and perhaps their political representative. Let me say, for instance, you and EA.
Yeah.
But there is a politician, maybe, who is occupying the position, say commissioner and all that. And then he sponsors a project because he has influence to the governor.
Yeah.
And he comes to the community, and the community are quarreling with him. Why are you bringing this kind of project when you know this is what we need?
That's
now,
true.
At that point in time, how is such issue resolved?
Thank you. There's what we call environment in budgeting in government.
Okay.
What we do in that kind of situation, before I get to the solution, such a thing don't need to come up where there is proper organization,
okay,
where there is proper planning. That is why the community, the executive assistant on community development, or the executive assistants in those communities are very, very important. Like, for example, in coordinating the entire executive assistants, hence we have the College of Executive Assistants. We meet regularly,
okay,
where we can be able to share ideas, where we can be able to help one another,
point out conflicts,
where we can be able to we use that college as a platform for peer review mechanism.
Okay.
Where you can be able to see how you can solve the problem of the other local government, where the other local government can take a cue from what is happening in this local government, especially positive things. Back to the question, when the community tells you we don't need this project, first of all, it is wrong of the political appointee in that local government.
Okay.
Either you being a commissioner, a special advisor, House of Assembly member, an EA, or House of Rep, or even a senator, to impose a project on the people.
Perhaps because you have interest in that project.
You are supposed to have what we call town hall meetings.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be done periodically, at least quarterly. From there, you know the need of the community. There are some communities that have schools, but the numbers of the pupils in those schools have outgrown the numbers of classes, the infrastructure. So such infrastructure needs expansion. Sometimes, for you to agree with what I'm saying, that is why you see some schools, they start running two programs. They have
two schools.
Day and
afternoon
schools. Why do you see such a thing happening? It's infrastructure. The population have shut up.
Outgrown the school.
Have outgrown the school. And to ensure that people are educated, instead of sending them back home, you now have two sessions.
All right.
So in that kind of situation, it is advisable that the appointees in those local governments
should interface with the people.
Be able to interface with the people and relate back to the government. And when that is done, the people will be blessed because things will be done accordingly. Then government will be happy that these people are happy. But it's because there is a bridger, the appointee, either the community development EA or there are other appointees in that community that is informing the governor right.
Now, from your point of view of your office, the EAs, can you just pinpoint a few projects that were influenced by the EAs?
Thank you.
Like which the state government has executed?
Good. Like me in particular, one of the things that I've been able to do for the community is issue of education.
Okay.
Because if you are not informed, then you'll be deformed. And mind you, the executive assistant does not have budget.
That's true.
They don't execute.
Yeah, that's why I use the word influence.
Yes. They don't execute. They don't have budget. They don't carry out infrastructural, they only advise the governor and also inform the governor of what they believe this is the request or the need of the community. So in my own office, I start with education. When I was appointed, I went around some primary schools and secondary school. Because in today's world, we've come to know that some social vices are not only found in adults, they are also found in these our little children. Children in primary school involved in courtism. Secondary school children involved in courtism. You can imagine what those ones will turn to when they get to the university. Therefore, I took the campaign of educating them why they cannot or should not involve in this. The danger in it, giving them empirical facts, examples and testimony of people that have involved in the past and how their life has been cut short, how revenge has been melted on their family that does not even know what happened.
What happened? What transpired?
The other one is issue of illicit intakes of drugs and drug abuse. I also carry those campaigns to the community and to the schools. I even have to invite the experts like the NDLA and some health experts in those areas. They came, there are pictures, there are videos to show to them how people's life has turned downward.
Downside up.
Due to these intakes. And is this the kind of life you want to imbibe yourself in?
That was an aspect of social campaign.
Thank you.
To address social
And
vices. Now, can we look into maybe infrastructure? What you influence government to do?
Good. Now, you have internal roads. And as a government appointee, you have to be on your toes. You have to know what you are doing and get informed. What people don't know is that there are levels of government and everybody with their rules. The federal government have its own responsibility. The state government have their responsibility. Likewise, the local government. Also, even appointees, your commissioners in your local government, your House of Assembly members, the House of Rep, and the Senator. What have you been able to do to attract development to your community? When I came on board, there are some roads, even within the Asaba town, which we call Nimogbe, the village. The main town, like the GRA, may be looking beautiful. But the aborigine, the communities may not have those kind of facility. We were able to pinpoint that. And today, inside the Nimogbe are taking a better look than it used to be because they have access road now.
All right. One of the challenges that,
I'm still naming them.
I know.
That is one.
We'll get back to that because you are listing your personal projects now, what you have done. Let's come back to the issue of community development. We're looking at it globally. Now, one of the things that comes up as a challenge to community development has been the issue of community clashes. What are the community clashes that have thrown up since you came into office, and how have you attempted to resolve them?
Okay, thank you. We in Oshimile South, especially the Asaba people, like I normally said in other platform, we are the most educated people on earth, the most exposed, and the most hospitable people. And our level of tolerance is very, very high.
That's right.
You see, when somebody...
because you are hosting the state capital.
Not really. You check yourself. Within the Delta state, either in Delta South or in Delta Central or even in Delta North, where you hear about communal crashes. All those communal crises, have you ever heard anyone in Asaba or in Oshimile South? I don't think to our to our notice. It is not existence. And the reason is because the political actors, unlike other areas, we engage our people regularly. Engagement is very important.
Okay.
When people feel they are not important, they take laws into their hand. What some people just need is attention.
Okay.
Just like in politics, some people have appointments. Some appointment is just recognition that you are recognized.
Okay.
And that will calm you down.
Okay.
And that gives you a sense of belonging.
Sense of belonging and commitment.
And commitment in
to
that
governance.
government. So the same thing in our communities. When you engage people, you address them as human beings that they are.
Okay.
And in those forums, they'll be able to hear their view. And by so doing, you may find solution to their problem. That is on political side. Traditionally, the Asaba Nagu, the Asaba of Asaba, who is our own paramount king, is also doing fantastically. He has his executive meeting every Tuesday, every week, just like the state government have state ESCO. So he have. And after meeting with his ESCO, he also have another meeting where he meets with all the head of different villages, the Diokpas. The Diokpas in return go back to their village and also have meeting with their chiefs. Okay. Then there's another forum where you also have meeting where the Asaba himself have meeting with the entire town, irrespective whether you are man, woman, a title person or not. Okay. By so doing,
that's like
engagement.
A local assembly.
Yes, you engage them.
All right, we'll continue.
All those things.
We'll continue on this.
Yeah, so all those things, make crisis not to exist in my own community.
All right, thank you.
Which I believe other Deltans should take a cue from it.
We ask you to stay on with us as we go on a short break. We'll be back to continue discussion on community development. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, you're welcome back. We're still with Ogbueshi Honorable Tajuice Isiche, who is Executive Assistant to the State Governor on Community Development. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, my brother.
Now, let's come to another crucial area. That is the area of disturbances. Government has approved a project for a particular community, and the contractor is being harassed by youth. You can't work here. Until you settle us, you cannot work. Issue of DEVE. Now, I believe that's one of the reasons why we are appointed to. I'm happy you're talking from the point of view of interfacing with the people, continual dialogue. Now, the issue of DEVE. What is your role as EAs in ensuring that this thing is brought to the barest minimum, that there is less disturbance to, execution of government projects in communities?
Thank you. Without me being an EA, as a freeborn and a proud son of Oshimili South, it is my responsibility to ensure that my community is developed. It is also my responsibility that no project that will bring development to my community should be disturbed. Like I told you earlier, we are exposed and educated people. Thank God for that. Our leaders in our communities have been able to educate our people, which I'm part of. Now, in Oshimili South, when we see government projects, we take the project as our own. Like I told you, in my sensitization to different bodies as an EA, I've been able to teach them and to tell them that we are not supposed to fight any stranger or contractor that is bringing development to us, sent by government or by any organization. We are to embrace them. We are to do what? To welcome them. We are to make the environment conducive for them. And we have never recorded any incident of Deve. Where you can tell me that maybe Deve is happening, maybe in the bush where people sell land, youth sell land, and people are developing. That's another aspect of development.
Okay.
There's government development, there's
Personal
individual development.
Yes, but even in the case of individual development.
Those individual development,
yes,
that is where I can say yes, but it's a very reduced, not unlike other places.
Okay.
And what do we do as leaders? Is to remind our people that when you sold property to somebody, you answer up. When you give somebody a goat or you sell a goat to somebody,
yes,
you leave the goat with the rope. You don't still hold back the rope.
Maybe to tie another rope.
Are you getting me now? So it's to encourage the person. But we also expect any organization, any company carrying out any activities in our locality, that's what we call social responsibility, corporate social responsibility to the whole community, because you are making money for the community. And we, as Asaba people, it's not you giving us money, giving youth money. You can find a project to do for us.
Okay.
You can put health center. You can organize health program. You can give scholarship to our children. You can also build schools. You can do all those things. You can sometimes when we are celebrating our festivals, our cultural festivals and so on, you can also do something.
Okay.
So we've taken Deve that you are talking about to another level. We convert Deve to development in Asaba Innovation.
And that's actually the meaning. So, Deve is a short form of development.
The Deve that we are calling today Deve is extortion.
Extortion. Okay.
So we don't get involved.
There's another area that is of interest. People sell lands, maybe family land to somebody. And then over a period, maybe the land was sold by the elders.
Yeah.
The son maybe comes back from Lagos and needs money. And so goes again, prepares paper and sells the same land to another person. And there is issue. Have you waded in such matters before? And how would you settle it?
Very, very well. That is a criminal act.
Okay.
And such a person should be dealt with as a criminal. We don't tolerate that in Oshimili South or in Asaba.
Okay.
Now, before I even answer that question, mind you, the state government, I mean, and when this our present governor was Speaker of the House of Assembly, there was a bill passed against Deve. And when you are caught, if you are involved, it's 10 years imprisonment. So it's an illegal act.
Okay.
So we don't talk, because those are the things that make the community not to grow. And because of our disposition in Asaba, that is why you see that Asaba is one of the fastest growing city today in the world, because of our disposition. Back to the question, you talk about somebody's selling land to multiple persons.
Well, this time there's that one, but this one, what I'm talking about is a situation where somebody in the family has sold it.
I've sold.
Another person came and sold it to another person.
I have one experience.
Okay.
There is a woman in my area where I live. She's from Anambra State.
Okay.
She bought land many years ago when she was still a civil servant. From my own village in Umuajiye, Ezeafadia. And document was signed. And another somebody raised up his ugly head in the future and went to sell that land to another person, that same piece of land. And when that matter came to my table, I said, no, this is not who we are. That does not mean we don't have some few disgruntled elements within us. But we have mechanism on how to deal with such a people.
Okay.
Even though the person is even from my own village, my own town, my own family, I bear witness that this property belongs to this woman based on the document I'm seeing. I invited him. That is like applying alternative dispute resolution. That is part of the community development.
That's right. That's right.
If you're a community development person, you should have those ideas. Now, I invited him and talked sense to him and gave him different ways in which he can come out of this problem. I talked to the woman. They've gone to Abuja, they've gone to Lagos, different places, gone to court for many years. And as bear witness, even append my name to it based on the information at my disposal. We don't hide our
position
own.
in society too.
Yeah. But today I can tell you,
such as you can be at risk when you do
and
that.
Asaba has a way also, traditionally.
Yes.
When you have such a problem, you go back to the community. The community has heads, which we call Diokpa.
Yeah.
The Toturaza will now look into the matter. By so doing, you may get judgment and be happy. Okay. And when it is, you are not still okay, you can ask petition to the Asaba in council.
Himself. The Asaba in council.
In council.
Which is the apex ruling
they
body.
Will now look at it. There's no how you will pass through this.
All this
that you will
the
not.
The matter will not be resolved.
So we in Asaba, we don't have all those issues that maybe people are being shortchanged, people are being their right are being infringed on, and the only thing you can say is I leave it to God.
Okay. Now, thank you.
That is why I say we are civilized people here.
We are advanced. You have been praising yourselves. You have been praising yourself. Yeah. But let's look at this other area. For instance, recently the state government held a security summit.
Yeah.
Raising concern and, of course, letting the people know how it should be an all-inclusive effort to deal with the issue of it, especially the new approach to criminality and, of course, insecurity in the country. Now, with the parameter set, what is the role of the EAs? Because now, a lot of role has been given to communities in that matter. Because these people who are, if you're a criminal, they say you live in a society, you live in a community, you transact with people. So now, as EAs, what have you found to be your role in this chain of ensuring that information gathering, intelligence disposition is helping to
Thank you very much. Before the summit that the state government had, I was also on another platform. On my own, I sponsored a program when I saw what is happening in the country at large. And we were thinking in those days that it's a regional matter. But now it has now become a national issue. There's a word that my people used to say that if they come, if they come, if they come. Now net they set, they wait for them. You will not wait until the something arrive before you start setting your trap. Now, what now happened? I told them in that program, I mentioned Oko, Okwe, Bonsak, Ugbolu, Ila.
These are suburbs of
Ebu, Isele Asaba, Ogwash, Ebuzo, and Asaba Ogwash. I mentioned on air that all those communities that have their schools close to some bushes or forests.
Yes.
This is the time that the community vigilante should do their job, not the one they are busy going to collect people's land.
Okay.
We may say it is not our problem, but one thing that we'll come to see that these criminals are doing is when your guards are down.
Yeah.
That is when they strike.
As they say, when you lose guard.
When you lose guard. So, I also mentioned in answering your question that we should start imbibing this culture. Like when you get to UK, at the Heathrow International Airport, Terminal 5, as you are going even on the subway, and as you are going on the wrong way there, you will see written there, see something, say something.
Okay.
There was a time we have a minister in this country, late Dott. She tried to promote that. This is the time in this country now, and in our different communities, when you see something, you say something. When the white man do some things in arrest and investigation, you think it is magic. No, it is the cooperation between the security agency and the community. Because we know ourselves, we know who our people in our community. When you see a strange face for more than one time, then you should be able to say, who are you? I should be able to report to the authority that I'm seeing a strange face. And the movement of this person is suspicious.
All right, that will be okay.
And finally on that, if it is your own person, your brother or your siblings or your children that you know they are living a life that is somehow report on time. So before it will not become a community issue, take a leaf from what Abdul Muttalib's father did. That guy that put up a bomb pint
on the plane.
And the American came for the family. And it was in record that the father has initially even report in the US, report everywhere that my son's character has changed. It's questionable. If not, the father and the parents will be struggling for it.
All right. That's how
so see something,
say something. That's how we want to conclude it on this conversation, talking about community development. And of course, we hinge so much on the fact that everybody has a role to play in community development. And the EAs have been appointed to ensure that the needs of communities are taken up to the government, and they also ensure that projects to communities are executed without any form of disturbance from community members. And he said, on insecurity, when you see something, say something. It's everybody's business. You don't see what is wrong and keep quiet because it can end up affecting you negatively. That's how we want to thank Honorable Tajis J for coming on the program.
Thank you, sir.
Well, keep watching Morning Dew. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives. Yes, welcome back with Ogbueshi Tajis J profiling models for community development. We bring our show this morning to a close. But before we go, there are things to take away. Ify,
yes,
we are told that our president will be going for the UN National Assembly in September. What is he going to tell the world?
Of course, the 81st session of the United Nations General Assembly will open at the UN headquarters in New York, and that will be in September, precisely the 8th of September 2026. That's just a few months away.
Yeah.
So we're expecting that when our President Tinubu joins other world leaders in New York, that he will be talking to the world about what he has done to make the lives of Nigerians better. Moving from the reforms, of course, we're told that will dominate what he will talk about. How that the Renewed Hope agenda is bettering the lives of Nigerians today. And we hope that the president will be a bit more realistic about what's on ground, and also perhaps mention some of the challenges that Nigeria is facing. We also know that he will be sitting not too far from President Trump of the United States. Yes, and in that sitting arrangement, we expect that they can have conversations over how to lift the visa restriction that is presently in force. The United States is not approving new visas in Nigeria presently, and that is affecting the travel plans of even some of our scholars who want to study in the US. Of course, you know that there are lots of scholarship opportunities available there, but this year, a lot of people missed out. Even those who got admissions are unable to travel and access these scholarship opportunities. So that's a huge problem. We also know that he is probably going to talk about insecurity, definitely going to talk about insecurity.
What of if he avoids it?
Because the US intervened at some point, we expect that that conversation is going to be had. But eventually, what Nigerians will be looking at is how the president is able to bring all these issues to the world in a way that projects the investment opportunities that other parts of the world can tap into in Nigeria towards increasing our economics, our GDP and forex as well. So we know that Nigeria is likely going to be better if he pitches well.
All right.
I am iffy around.
Nigeria will always have something to say.
Success.
Yes.
We also saw from one of the from one headline in the paper that there was a budget for this World Cup.
The World Cup.
Even though Nigeria did not
and the budget has been spent. So
Mm.
what's your take on that?
It's awesome anyway, hearing such.
It's not awesome. It's
No,
it's scandalous.
But let's put it
If-
that way.
Can you losing your
Just losing up a bit. No.
The fact that we trivialize some of these issues, I think that's
But
why.
that's what is helping us Nigerians. If we get so
it's not
serious about
helping.
these serious issues,
It's not
something's going to
helping
happen.
me.
Something is going to
But
happen,
let's
but
hear
yes,
the
we
view of
want
success.
to
6.4
appeal.
billion naira.
Yes, we want to appeal to the federal government, and because we all know, we're all aware that Nigeria actually didn't qualify for the FIFA World Cup, and our team didn't go for the match. They didn't play at all. We all saw it. So how come this budget has already been spent? So we want to plead with the federal, since we all know these things, please, can this money, be returned back to the treasury
or
shared among Nigerians, at least
I know
to
that's
loosen
very
up,
good.
yes.
Yeah.
So we can actually loosen up
let it be
off the
palliative for
stress.
us.
Palliative.
Yeah.
If it has been spent, at least accountability. Let's know what it was spent
Accountability.
Okay.
on. Very important.
All right, that was from success. And of course, for me, what I take away in all this matter is that with all the reforms, we hear that World Bank is saying 79% of Nigerians are still poor, despite the reforms. Please, let's keep reforming the reform so that it can reflect in our lives. That does it for Morning Dew this morning. And we want to enjoin you to keep watching Dott Television. Our programs lined up for your pleasure, for your education, and for your information. Bye for now and see you tomorrow. Of course, shout out to our guys in the control room, Nkechi, Chukudi, Uzochi, Okere, Aaron Ojeifo, and of course, the main man, Chika Ikechukwu. Thank you for doing the good work. And of course, to the management of Dott TV, thank you for the privilege. We keep doing what we can do to project Nigeria and the world better. Bye for now.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.